Hey there! Have you ever wondered if switching up your grocery shopping routine could actually save you money? Well, I did some experimenting, weekly shopping versus monthly shopping, and the results surprised me. Not only did I save more money, but I also cut down on food waste. Let me show you how. I thought I was being efficient, stocking up on everything I needed all at once. But then I started noticing all the food I was throwing out. Wilted lettuce, moldy fruit, you name it. That's when I decided to switch things up and try weekly shopping instead. The results? Let's just say my wallet and the planet are pretty happy about it. Here's what I learned when I made the switch to weekly grocery shopping. It was a small change, but it had a big impact on my life. Luckily for me, there's a grocery store right by my work, so swinging by after work is super convenient. I no longer had to make multiple trips throughout the week. Now, the real game changer? I was wasting way less food. I used to throw away so much because I couldn't keep track of what I had. When you buy a massive amount of groceries at once, it's easy to forget what you have and end up with a science experiment in the back of your fridge. It was frustrating and wasteful. By shopping weekly, I was buying only what I needed for the next 7 days. This meant fresher food and less clutter in my fridge. No more forgotten leftovers or wilted produce. Everything was fresh and ready to be used. Sticking to a list and avoiding those tempting bulk buys made a huge difference in how much I was spending. I was no longer buying things I didn't need. Weekly shopping helped me break free from that cycle. I felt more organized and in control. It was like I finally had control over my grocery budget, and let me tell you, it felt amazing to see those savings add up. I was saving more than I ever thought possible. I'm talking hundreds of dollars back in my pocket. Money that I could put towards things I actually cared about, like investing or that new camera gear I'd been eyeing. It was a win-win situation. Plus, with less food going to waste, I felt good about making a positive impact on the environment too. It was a small change that made a big difference in my life and the planet. Let's rewind for a second and talk about my monthly shopping struggles. Every month I would find myself in the same predicament. It all seemed convenient at first. The idea of doing one big shop to save time was appealing. I mean, who wants to spend time at the grocery store every week, right? It felt like a smart move, but I quickly realized that those monthly hauls were a recipe for overspending and waste. The cart would be overflowing, and so would my expenses. I fell into the trap of buying extra just in case. It was a safety net that turned into a financial pitfall. You know, an extra gallon of milk, just in case we ran out. A few more bags of chips, just in case we had guests over. Just in case I needed them. It was a never-ending cycle of just in case. But guess what? More often than not, those just-in-case items ended up expiring before I could even get to them. It was frustrating to see money go to waste. And then there were the impulse buys. Those little temptations that seemed harmless at the moment. When you're staring down a wall of chips or cookies, it's way too easy to convince yourself that you need an extra bag or two. The marketing is designed to make you feel that way, especially when you're already spending a lot on groceries for the month. What's an extra $10 here and there? It felt insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But those little splurges add up fast. Before you know it, your grocery bill is through the roof. To make matters worse, I found it way harder to meal plan effectively for an entire month. The longer the planning period, the more complicated it became. It was a vicious cycle of overbuying, impulse spending, and ultimately, wasting both food and money. The trash can was always full of expired items. That's when I knew I had to make a change. I couldn't keep throwing money away. I needed a system that was sustainable, budget-friendly, and didn't leave me feeling overwhelmed. So I started researching and experimenting with different strategies. I found that using a grocery app to plan weekly trips helped me stay on track and avoid unnecessary purchases. Cooking at home became more enjoyable, and I felt more in control of my spending. It was a game changer. Now, my pantry is organized, my budget is balanced, and I no longer dread grocery shopping. It's a win-win. Chapter 3. My savings breakdown, the real numbers don't lie. All right, let's get down to the good stuff, the cold, hard numbers. Over 1 month of switching from monthly to weekly shopping, I managed to save a whopping 20%. That's right, 20% less spent on groceries, just by changing when I went to the store. I tracked every single dollar, and believe me, the results speak for themselves. A big chunk of those savings came from eliminating food waste. By buying only what I needed for the week, I was no longer throwing away money on food that would never get eaten. Weekly shopping forced me to be more mindful of what was already in my pantry and fridge. I became a master of using up leftovers, getting creative with recipes, and avoiding those tempting impulse buys. And let's not forget about the fuel costs. With the grocery store right by my work, I was no longer making those long, gas-guzzling trips to the store every few weeks. But here's the secret weapon in my money-saving arsenal: meal planning. Chapter 4: How you can make weekly shopping work, even if you're super busy. So, are you ready to give weekly grocery shopping a try? It might seem like an extra chore at first, but trust me, it can become a seamless part of your routine. I know it might seem like an extra chore, but I promise it's easier than you think, and the savings are totally worth it. Plus, it can be quite satisfying to see how much you save over time. Plus, I've got your back with some practical tips to make it work for your busy life. These tips are designed to save you time, money, and stress. First things first, we need to talk about meal planning. This is the cornerstone of efficient weekly shopping. Spend just a little bit of time each week brainstorming meal ideas and write them down. Think about what you and your family enjoy eating and plan around that. You can even get fancy with it and create a cute little meal plan template. This can make the process more enjoyable and visually appealing. Before you even think about stepping foot in that grocery store, grab your list and do a quick inventory of your fridge, freezer, and pantry. This step is crucial to avoid waste and unnecessary purchases. This way, you'll know exactly what you already have and can avoid buying duplicates. It also helps in planning meals around what you already have. Okay, now for the fun part, shopping. This is where your planning pays off. Make sure you stick to your list like glue. It's your roadmap to efficient and budget-friendly shopping. Avoid those tempting impulse buys no matter how good the deal seems. These can quickly add up and derail your budget. Remember, it's not a bargain if you don't actually need it. Stick to what's on your list and you'll see the savings. And if you're really serious about saving money, try shopping at discount grocery stores or buying generic brands whenever possible. These small changes can lead to significant savings over time. Here's a pro tip. If you find yourself with extra time during the week, consider prepping some of your meals in advance. This can be a game changer for busy weeknights. This could be as simple as chopping veggies, cooking up a big batch of grains, or even assembling some mason jar salads for easy lunches. Prepping ahead can save you a lot of time and stress. That way, when you're short on time, you'll already have a healthy meal ready to go. Finally, track your savings. Seeing your progress can be incredibly motivating. Keep a little notebook or use a spreadsheet to keep track of how much you're spending each week. This will help you stay on budget and see where you can improve. Outro: save money, reduce waste, live better. Switching to weekly grocery shopping changed the game for me. It's not just about saving money, it's about being mindful of what I need and avoiding waste. If you try this, let me know how it works for you in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical money-saving tips. Until next time, remember, small changes can make a big difference. Now go forth and conquer those grocery aisles.